Hello. I am fairly close to my destination, so hopefully I can finish recording this intro before I get there. But hello, my name is Jess. If you haven't met me yet, I am the content creator here at Smut.net, where I read almost entirely romance books, love kissing books, smutty books. It's my jam. I do lots of challenges throughout the month, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But today we have a very special episode because I actually had someone reach out to me on Instagram. Her name is Verity, and she has a YouTube channel as well. And she reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a collab with her. And I was like, yes, hello, obviously. So fun. And so we kind of chatted back and forth about like what kind of books we each like and kind of some of those things. Don't think I'm supposed to turn here, sorry. I'm low-key lost because I've never actually driven to this place before, so bear with me. But we talked a little bit about like what kind of books we both like, and she was like, I think that you should give Why Choose another chance. And I was like, okay, sure. And so I looked into like kind of some of the series that I had been reading and like type of things like that. And I asked her if she'd ever read The Dare by Harley LaRue. Because I actually really enjoyed The Dare when I read it for the first time. Oh geez, I don't remember, like 2022 maybe. But I actually really enjoyed it. And there are 2 more books in the series that are more Why Choose. The Dare is like not totally Why Choose, it's like more like a one night situation. But then the other books are more Why Choose. And so I asked Verity if she'd ever read The Dare, and she was like, no. I haven't. And so I was like, all right, why don't we read the Loser series together? So I reread The Dare, and then we were going to read Losers Part 1 and Losers Part 2. That is this video, so you will see some messages between Verity and I sprinkled throughout this video. I don't know exactly how we're going to edit this. I will definitely link her channel below so that you can go over and check out her content. She does do book content. She also does makeup content, which is very fun. And she sometimes does like makeup looks based on like books she's reading. It's so cute. So I am so excited for this because I've never done a collab before. It makes me feel very like official, which is fun. So please enjoy this montage of us reading the Loser series. You are precariously balancing on a mountain of laundry, so I'm going to hopefully not make it topple over, but I'm cooking lunch real quick, and it is Monday, but I started The Dare Saturday, maybe over the weekend at some point. I don't remember the exact day, I'm sorry. And I'm like 50% in now, I think. It's not long, it's fairly short. Sorry for the FaceTime. I read this book, oh geez, I don't remember, like 2022 maybe, I think it was. It was fairly early in my reading journey. I did not remember, but apparently I enjoyed it. But I did not remember how much boot stuff there was. Is that weird to say? I didn't remember how much boot stuff there was, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and the whole time I'm just like, these are 20-somethings licking boots and stuff. Like, what in the world was I doing? Not that. I'll tell you what, not that. This is one of my favorite shirts that my kids own. So cute. And so yeah, I'm keeping an open mind because I know The Dare is very much erotica. Like, it's very much erotica. And The Losers is not, from what I understand, because it's more like them all together. Her and, spoiler, I guess. She hooks up with several people in this book, in The Dare, and Losers, that duet, follows like all of them being together or whatever. Anyway, I guess it's not really a spoiler if you read the descriptions. Anyway, and so I'm trying to keep an open mind because one of my biggest complaints with Why Choose is that the relationships aren't like developed enough. So like I don't believe that she would be with like all 4 dudes. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, this girl, like, no. So I'm hoping that the Losers, because they are 2 books and they are so long. I think they're each like 700 pages, which is like bananas. I'm really hoping that you get all the development of the relationships. I also know there is sword crossing in Losers. So there's also like guy relationships, which is fine, but they have to be developed enough for me to believe that they would be like together, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm like I said, I'm like 50% through my reread and I'm all right. I'm just like, can you please stop making her lick your boots, bro? It's just a bit much for me, but that's my quick little update. My lunch is ready, which means I don't have to fold any more laundry for now, but I will check in with you guys when I get a little bit farther. Ignore the sink of dishes behind me, but none of y'all told me that when I checked in with you yesterday, I never actually told you what this book is about. So let's rewind a little bit. So The Dare by Harley LaRue is a prequel novella to the Losers duet. And in The Dare, we are following, or the scene opens at this Halloween party. And we're following Jessica Martin and like, I think her friend is Ashley. I don't actually remember what her friend's name is. And Jessica, also reading this book with my name being Jessica, low-key weird. Anyway, Jessica was like the mean girl in high school. She kind of bullied everybody. She was like captain of the cheerleading team, dating a football player, like very one of those kinds of girls. Not saying everyone who is those things is one of those kinds of girls, but Jessica Martin is one of those girls. So she gets to this Halloween party and finds out that this guy Manson from when they were in high school is there. And Manson was very much like not the type of guy that a girl like Jessica would have hung out with or known about or interacted with at all, but he's there. And so she's like, this is weird. I don't know why he's here. We then also find out that her and Manson have some history from when they were in high school. No surprise there. So Jessica goes to play beer pong. And Manson is her opponent. And they're all like, let's up the stakes a little bit. And instead of just doing regular beer pong, they wrote Dare on like half the cups or whatever. So every time you get a ball in that cup, your opponent, you get to give a dare to your opponent, type of thing. And so Jessica, being the mean girl that she is, decides to use this as a way to kind of continue bullying Manson. Unfortunately for her, she loses the game. And when she loses the game, Manson decides that the final dare is that she now has to be his slave for the rest of the night. So, being the bullied man that he was, Manson decides that she is going to really pay for it, basically. And so, thus begins the degradation. Now, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this. I'm not a huge fan of the degradation because I get embarrassed, like, for the character. Like, if I know I would be embarrassed, I'm, like, embarrassed for her, okay? And he's, like, making her crawl to get him drinks and, like, stealing her underwear and stuff. And it's just a lot. And like I said in the previous clip, because I'm not going to change the order that they were in, because then this won't make any sense. There's a lot of bootlicking. And I just don't get that. I'm not yucking anybody's yum. If it's you, do you. It is just not my jam. And it just seems like there's a lot of that. So, that's where I'm at. I'm still 50%. I haven't read any more since yesterday. So, that is where I am at. I am currently pre-cleaning my house before my house cleaner comes. Because my mother-in-law believes that I need a house cleaner. So, I have a house cleaner. And I have to actually clean my house so that my house cleaner can clean my house, you know? So, that is where we're at. I am hoping, I would love to finish the dare today. But, also going to dinner with my mom tonight. So, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But, that is our update. That's where we're at. And that's what the dare is about. Now, when we get to the loser's duet, it is a reverse harem. In the dare right now, it is, if you see me just putting dishes in my dishwasher, it's because I got to get them out of the sink so you can clean the sink. Don't judge me. Later on, it becomes a reverse harem, and part of the dare has a little bit of group things. But I don't want to spoil anything. Also, this is a reread for me, so I have read this. I also gave it like 4 stars when I read it originally. I should have checked to see. I think it was 2022 though. And so, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. But we'll see. And part of, again, I already kind of spoke this overly into existence. One of my main problems with reverse harem is that I don't believe the relationship. Pause. I'm throwing water, buddy. I didn't drop anything. So, part of my biggest, like, issue with reverse harem is that I don't usually believe the relationship because there's, like, not enough time for you to convince me that she's in love with, like, 4 dudes. You know what I mean? That's a lot. It's a lot of dudes. But the loser's duet is, like, 1,500 pages combined. So I'm hoping that Harley LaRue is able to change my mind on that. We shall see. Oh, crap. Hello, friends. I am so sorry. 1 second. Dreadful. I don't think I'm going to be able to record in my car anymore, which is so sad because I have things to tell you. Hold on. I wish it would work over here. It doesn't. Y'all! So, I got a new phone thing, and unfortunately, I can't really turn it sideways. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. You might fall. So, we'll hope that this is dreadful. Anyway, I am 30% into Losers Part 1, and I'm not hating it, which is weird for me. Oh my goodness. You guys can look out the window while we chat. Isn't that nice? I'm so sorry. Oh, actually, I have an idea. I wonder if this will work. Hold on. Y'all about to get whiplash, so I apologize. For reference, I was just putting you in this broken holder. Yes. That works a lot better. Okay. There we go. Look at us. Figuring shit out. Okay. I am like 30% into Losers Part 1. And we're not hating it, which is shocking, honestly. There have been, I would say, two and like a quarter spicy scenes. One of which was so there's that. I had already kind of known that there was sword crossing in this one, but I was not expecting it to be like first spice scene being that. And then the second scene was with all the guys and her, but nobody having like intercourse. It was oral. It is hot in here. Hold on. Hopefully that doesn't get too loud. So in this one, these are the same characters from the Dare, which I don't even know if I checked in with you. Anyway, so we're following Jessica Martin, and she comes home from, it's like, I think it's 2 years after the events of the Dare, and she comes like back to town, and she like has a run-in with Manson, Lucas, Vincent, and Jason. Look at me knowing all their names. Epic. And she is like battling with herself because she's like very intrigued by them. She wants to like kind of be with them, but more in like a sexual sense. Like it's very more sexual driven than like relationship driven at this point, which I think makes sense for a situation like this where it is so out of the norm, like the whole poly why choose situation. And so they like run a car, they like race cars or whatever, and they run like a garage, and her car breaks down. I'm gonna have to put the window up because there is a person standing over here and it's awkward. Basically her car breaks down, and they're like, we will help you, but you have to like basically be ours for the amount of time that we're fixing your car because you don't have the money to fix the car. So that's kind of where we're at now. As far as I can tell, all of the guys are bisexual in some way, shape, or form. They're all like with each other, but they also all want her, so it's complicated. But that's kind of where we're at. And like I said, we're 30% in. There's been 2 and like a quarter spicy scenes, but I'm not hating it. It's not like the normal, or I shouldn't say normal. In a lot of the Why Choose romances that I've read in the past, it is like right from the get-go, like, be with us, we're all in love with you. And this one doesn't have that, which I appreciate, because that's one of the things that I don't usually vibe with in Why Choose, is like, I have to believe all the relationships make sense, and like that they could actually be relationships like standalone on their own. And I don't usually feel that in Why Choose, because either the relationships aren't fleshed out enough and I don't feel like they connect individually to each other, or it's just like too fast. I will say we also have all 5 POVs in there, and so you get to see kind of like all of their inner monologues a little bit, and we have seen Jess like interacting with each of them kind of like individually. So I think that's really helping with the vibe so far. This is also a long book and it's a duet, so I think that helps too, is there's plenty of pages and like time for them to really flesh out the relationships and get that like locked down. So I think that that's really helping. So that is where I'm at. I have been messaging Verity and like giving her like a play-by-play, like where I'm at and what have you. And so I will include some of the screenshots, if I haven't already. I'll include some of the screenshots of like our conversation as we've been reading, because I think it's really funny. But as of this time, I'm not DNFing, and I'm having an okay time. So who knew? I'm hoping to finish this one today because I do have it on loan from the library. I got it through Hoopla. I am doing the audiobook as well, which I did not really make the connection that they're in Tennessee. Is this loud? I'm sorry. We're in this like weird weather pattern where I am, where it's like borderline hot, but like not that hot, but it's like warm in like your car. I'm listening to the audio as well. I'm doing immersive reading, which if you know anything about me and my channel, I cannot just audiobook. I have to have an ebook to go with it because I will get so distracted. But there's only 2 narrators, but the male narrator is doing a great job at like differentiating all the men. And I did not really make the connection that they are in Tennessee, and so they have like Southern girls, which I was not expecting. But that's been kind of fun to see that. I can't totally tell the guys apart, other than Manson. He's like kind of the only one that I can like pull out, and he was like the main guy from the Dare. I think I've kind of got an idea of, I think Jason has the piercing, and then I think Vincent is the ropes guy, and then Lucas is the blue hair, maybe? I thought Jason had blue hair. Maybe now I'm getting him confused. I don't know. Anyway, so that's our quick little day losers update, and I will let you guys know maybe if I finish it tonight I'll have an update and we'll go from there. Unfortunately, I have used most of my Hoopla borrows for the month, and it is only the like 18th, I think it is. So if I do decide to continue into Losers Part 2, I may have to buy the ebook. But I feel like if I enjoy it enough, I could buy the ebook and then get the audio through Hoopla, and that would be okay. So I will keep you guys updated. Watch this, what do they call it? Watch this space, whatever. I'll talk to you later. Hello, good morning. Your girl's a hot mess. But I'm getting ready to start reading this morning. It is school vacation, so my kids are not here. The laundry, let's pretend it doesn't exist. But I'm about to get back into Losers Part 1. And I just had a weird, I'm home by myself. But I don't feel like I can listen to this without my headphones. Is anybody else like that? Like, can you listen to dirty books out loud? Let me know down below, because I'm curious. But we are like almost 70% into this book. I need to finish it today because it is the 29th of April. Gotta get to work. Apologies if you can hear the microwave. I am cooking lunch. But I finished Losers this morning. In a shocking turn of events, I gave this book 4 stars, which nobody saw coming. Did you see it coming? Because I didn't. I was low-key, I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe in book 2 this will happen, but there's like an opportunity for a really intense suspense plot, and I'm really hoping that they do that in book 2, but we'll see. Gotta yawn. As always, whenever I talk to you guys. So I have the ebook for Losers Part 2, but I want to do the audio because I did the audio with this one and it was so good. Let me tell you. Now I'm getting hot. It's like gonna be 80 degrees today, which is dumb considering I live in New England, okay? Check out my, well, don't look at my butt, but you can check out my cool California, you can't even see them, never mind. You can't even see them. How far back do I, my short ass, never mind. My California PJs. Shout out to Sabrina. Anyway, I did the audio with part 1, and let me tell you, the male narrator, his rent was due when he was recording that shit. So I feel like I need to have the audio for the second one. So I'm waiting for the new month to start because it's April like 29th, I think. And so I'm waiting for May 1st when my Hoopla borrows reset because my library does have them on Hoopla. So I'm gonna borrow the audio on there so that I can immersive read it because I feel like the audio was really good. So that is kind of my plan. Okay. This is how Why Choose should be done, okay? There are scenes with, like, every combination of characters together, which, like, not even just in a sex way, but, like, in a bonding, like, interaction way, and that really helps solidify how they all can, like, coexist together, and I think that's so, so important, because as someone who is monogamous, it is hard for me to understand when people are in relationships like this, because I couldn't it's too many things going on, and I give mad props to people who have that much love to give. Like, that is just amazing, like absolutely freaking amazing, and I love that for those people, but it is hard to understand and comprehend when you're reading about it. So I do really feel like Harley LaRue did an amazing job making you believe the bond between not only Jessica and all 4 guys, but also the guys within each other, and like, you get what I mean? You get what I mean. Anyway, there is definitely quite a bit of spice. There is definitely There are trigger warnings or content warnings at the beginning of the book, which are helpful, but there's also some really great character development, and I think that was done very well. I'm very curious to see how book 2 goes, but who knew? Who knew this was gonna be the one random ass Why Choose that I could actually support? So, big shout out to Verity for reaching out to me and being like, let's buddy read something, and us deciding to buddy read this, because if she hadn't, I probably would have never picked this back up, if we're being honest. So let's go ahead and jump forward to May Jess, who is going to be starting Losers 2. Hello. They're currently paving our road, and it is chaos by our house, but I need to run to the store really quick, so I figured I would check in with you, because I finished Losers Part 2 like 20 minutes ago. I didn't really check in when I was reading this because I read it in 24 hours. I wish I could say that I read it in 24 hours because I was just like obsessed with it, but sadly not totally the case. The things that I enjoyed about part 1 of this series, like the tension, like the relationship building and things like that for the little poly group that is in this book, or this series, I guess, you lose so much of that because at the end of book 1, or like, so you have the Dare, which is like 0.5 or whatever, the prequel, and then you have Losers Part 1, and then I just finished Losers Part 2. At the end of Losers Part 1, they're all together. Like, there's no real, like, stuff left, like, for them to get together. We have, like, some external conflict a tiny bit, but, like, really not, like, it was kind of part of this one, but, like, barely, honestly. I felt like it could have been a little bit more. This book was mostly just her like apologizing to all 4 of them for like bullying them in high school. Like that was literally 90% of this book, and like love confessions. So I mean, it was fine, but I definitely feel like the relationships were not like it felt kind of like an epilogue that was 500 pages. Sorry, it's probably really hard to hear because I have the windows open. It kind of felt like just a really, really big epilogue. They were all together. There was no like real big conflict. There was no like breakups or anything like that, and it was fine. It was basically just like a smutty epilogue that was 500 pages. But I did finish it. I gave it 3 stars because I would probably not read this again. And my rating system is basically like, if I finish it, I give it 3 stars. If I would read it again, I'll give it 4. If I would read it again, like right now, like the minute after I finished it, then I give it 5 pretty much. Or if I get like the 5-star flutters or whatever. So, I mean, it's fine. It's done. I'm sorry that I did not really check in with you at all. I really just was like feeling some type of way about it. I almost DNF'd it, but I was like, no, we have to finish it. Verity's gonna read it. We have to finish it so we can cross it off and feel accomplished. So we did. I finished it. Check it off the list. But yeah, I finished the Loser series, which is exciting. I get to now cross it off my list. Verity has not yet read part 2. She's waiting on her library copy. So I am a little bit ahead of her, but I am excited to see what she thinks of this one. Like I've probably already said previously in this video, she does read a lot of Why Choose, or she's not as like I don't know how to say it. Like, it's not that I'm not against Why Choose. It's not my favorite trope. It's not my favorite like subgenre of romance. It takes a lot for me to believe all of those people can love each other like the same. It's hard for me. I believe Manson and Jess like 100%. Then getting me on board with all the other couples is a lot harder, especially when you see, and part of it's also probably because I've never been in a non-monogamous relationship. So like for me, my brain just like doesn't process it the same way. But like when you see how much like Jason and Vincent like love each other and care for each other, I have a hard time believing that they can also love 3 other people. That just seems like so many. It just seems like so many. But again, I am not in a poly situation. I don't live that lifestyle, so that could also be part of why I just don't get it. But that being said, I finished it, so go me. I do recommend this series. I don't think it was poorly written by any means. So if you are a Why Choose girly and you like those kinds of stories, there was a lot of smut. There are trigger warnings in the beginning, and that was the first ever scene like that I had read before, so yay me. But yeah, I do like Harley LaRue's writing style. I really enjoy her Souls trilogy. I do have one more book in that series to finish. So it's not a bad series by any means. It's just not my vibe, but I did finish it, so yay me. I will chat with you guys probably in the next one. Is this going to be my closeout video where I'm literally in the car? That's terrible. But maybe. So don't forget to like this video if you have fun watching me try and complete series on my list. This series I started back in 2021, so it was definitely a long time coming, but I'm so glad that it's over. That sounds terrible. I'm so glad that I get to cross it off my list. But I will chat with you guys in the next one. Bye.